Hi everybody, welcome back. So as promised, we are delving into my favorites of 2021, all of my drugstore favorites. That's what this video is going to be today, is drugstore. I am also going to do a high-end product review, and then I had to break it down into like skincare and hair, and also tools like my brushes and my sponges. So I am going to be putting that one into a different video. I was thinking about incorporating them all together, and then it was just going to be too long. So I'm just going to make that a separate video. So if you are curious to see what my favorite drugstore products are for 2021, then let's get into it. So before we get into the actual video, I did want to share with you some sad news that happened to my family over Christmas. I don't want to make this a downer video, but I just wanted to let you guys know that right before Christmas, actually on December 23rd, my father-in-law passed away. He had numerous health issues, and he was always a marvel to the medical field. They were always astonished that he would pull through every time they would tell us that, you know, that we needed to come and say our goodbyes to him, and he would always pull through. He was a very special man. And for me, I've personally known him since I was 18 years old. I am 52 now, so you do the math of how long I've known him. It's a long time. And what always made me feel special is that he welcomed me into their family, and always treated me like a daughter. He never treated me just like a daughter-in-law. He always treated me like his daughter. He was such a funny man. He would light up the room when he came in, and he always had jokes. He always loved pulling pranks on people. He loved playing Santa Claus every year. He would play Santa Claus. He was a shrine clown for many years. But I am very thankful that he is no longer in pain. And I was very thankful that my husband could be by his side at the end. So Keith, I just want to say how much you were loved, and thank you for being such a good man, someone that was so devoted to your family, a devoted husband, a devoted father, a devoted grandfather. We love you. We miss you. And I just want to dedicate this video to him. He would call these my TV show, he called them. It's kind of funny. My dad would call them a different name when I would do videos, and my father-in-law, he would call these my TV shows. So Keith, this TV show is dedicated to you. And I think what we'll do is put it in a sequence of how I normally apply the products onto my face. That just kind of makes the most sense for me. So what we're first going to get into is primer. So one of my favorite primers that I found for 2021, I do find it is a brand that I think it's kind of an underrated brand from the drugstore, but it's the Revolution brand. And the primer I'm talking about is the Glass Skin Primer. I actually have that one on today. It leaves my skin really hydrated feeling, really dewy. I would caution, if you're somebody with oily skin, you may not like this one. So that's it right there. It's quite clear. It's almost like, it feels almost like you're putting like a bit of like a water-based product on your face. But that's it there, rubbed in. I have never had any issues with it, with like breaking up my foundation or anything like that. It just gives me a really nice hydrated, dewy look. And it does have like a very soft floral scent to it. So that one gets a big thumbs up in my book for great primer. And then what I'm going to do also is a few of the categories where I just thought there was a couple of products that really, I couldn't choose which one was better than the other. So I'm going to have the main product that I really liked, and then I'll have like some honorable mentions as well. So the honorable mention for another primer is the Age Perfect Blurring Face Primer. I absolutely think this one is fantastic if you have more mature skin. It does come out as a rosy color, and it's a little bit on the thicker side. But again, it does absorb great into the skin. This one isn't as illuminating as the Glass Skin one is, but I really do like this one for helping my foundation stay on throughout the day. I find that this one it almost like diffuses some of the fine lines like around my mouth area. So what I did today was I used the Glass Skin Primer all over my face, and then I took this one here and I targeted right around my mouth area. And hopefully you can see like my foundation today really isn't settling, and I've had this on for a few hours now before I started actually filming. It's really helping with the settling in my fine lines. And I do like this shade, how it has that a little bit of rosiness to it, so that kind of evens out my complexion. And cost-wise, I believe these are very similar. I will insert the prices as well as we go through. So this gets a big thumbs up in my book. So next we're going to get into foundation. This is my #1 foundation that I have loved this year. It's the L'Oreal True Match the Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. I've had this on my channel a bunch, so I'm not going to go too much into it. I think I had it on my last video as well. And what I'll do is insert I actually did a first impression on this foundation, so I will insert that in my description box, and you guys can go check out that video if you want to see my impressions on it. But I think this is such a beautiful tinted serum. It's not going to give you like a full coverage. It is more a light to medium coverage, which I really don't mind that. Makes my skin really hydrated looking with that hyaluronic acid in it. Doesn't settle into my fine lines. Lasts throughout the day. It doesn't break apart. You know, like in certain areas, some foundations can really break apart around my nose area or around my mouth. This one stays true all day. It doesn't oxidize on me. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the only thing that is the negative about this, in my opinion, is the dropper applicator, which comes like that. Not my favorite method to put foundation on. I had a few people mention to me in the comments that they thought it was a little bit drying for them. So just keep in mind that everybody's skin is different. So how a product works on my skin is going to be different how it works on your skin. I have dry skin. I have a lot of wrinkles. I have a lot of fine lines. And I find this one just does a great job of making my skin look really, really good. And it's one of the few foundations that I apply with my fingers. And then I will go in with a dampened sponge where it needs any blending. Now the next foundation is a recent find. I'm going to say the last couple of months I've been using this one as well. And it's the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. Now this one has a little bit more coverage to it. It also has hyaluronic acid in it, which is going to help with the hydration. I forgot to mention this one, the L'Oreal, I have in the shade 2-3 Light. And in the Catrice, I have this in the shade 30 Neutral Sand. But I really like this one because it has the pump applicator, which I love those types. It is a little bit a thicker consistency, not by too much, but it's not like a really runny formula, which I appreciate. Whereas the L'Oreal is definitely more on the runnier side. So this one right here is the L'Oreal, and this is the Catrice. But they blend in really easily. So once they're blended in, so you can see the shade difference here. So the L'Oreal, you can hopefully see that it does look very hydrating still. And also the Catrice, and that's that hyaluronic acid working. But I think they're both just fantastic. Again, I did have some people reach out in the comments that when I had my first impression on this, it was a little bit split. There were some people that said that they have tried it, didn't really care for it, and then there were some people that just say they absolutely love it. It's one of those products that you just have to try out, I guess, and see whether it works on your skin or not. Thankfully, it's very affordable, and I did the first impression on this one as well, so I will have that also linked down below. Now, surprisingly, I was shocked actually when I started going through my stash, and I'm like, I only tried one drugstore concealer, and I guess I did. I had tried a bunch of higher end concealers that I really enjoyed this year. So the only one was the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now, if you have dry under eyes, my suggestion to you is make sure it's the hydrating version of the Camo Concealer. There is another one, I think it's called the 16-hour one. I have tried that one before, and on me, I just did not like it. It was way too drying for under my eyes, and it just looked like the Sahara Desert under my eyes. It just sucked any moisture under there, and my under eyes looked awful. They looked like all wrinkly and everything. But this one, what I did today was I used this one to highlight, so I used it on my forehead and my bridge of my nose and highlighted. I used another concealer under my eyes because I'm trying to do back-to-back videos today. So I've been using a mixture of drugstore and high-end today. But this one is like really good coverage, very hydrating, very long wearing. It has quite a large doe foot applicator, which is always nice because it gets right under the under eye area. I have this one in the shade Light Sand. I do prefer more of like a brighter concealer under my eyes, so that's why I chose that shade. But this is such a great, affordable option for concealers, in my opinion, from the drugstore. So that one gets a big thumbs up for me. Now, I tried a few different setting powders throughout the year, and I liked this one in particular because it gives me an illuminating look. I use this as a finishing powder. After I've applied all my makeup, I use this one just to touch up any areas where I might be a little bit shiny. It's the Milani Prep Set and Glow. I have this one in the shade 02, but I think this is such a fantastic finishing powder. You can see how illuminating it looks just on my finger. I did use it today just to touch up any of those. I had some shiny spots on my nose and my chin, so I used it for that. But I know this isn't a new product for this year, and some of these aren't going to be absolutely new. I should have said that earlier. Some of these are new to me that I discovered this year, and not necessarily new that came out in 2021. And this never makes my skin look dry. It doesn't sink into any of my fine lines. It just kind of just sits there and makes me give me like that really like a glowy look. And it's very soft, like through between my fingers here. It is a really, really soft formulation. So absolutely love this one. For eyeshadow palettes, I am going to include this one as a drugstore because you can get it in the drugstore, and it is very affordable for the amount of shades that you actually get in the palette. And I just used this in another video. I will have the video, my most recent video, where I actually use this palette in it. It's not going to come as a shock to any of you if you're familiar with my channel. So it's the ColourPop the Stone Cold Fox palette. This was my favorite find of the whole entire year for palettes. I think this is so beautiful. I love the shades. And what surprised me was because there are so many cool shades, and I'm not usually a cool shade. I'm more of a warm shade person. But this is such a fantastic palette. So that topped my list for favorite eyeshadow palette. And then honorable mentions, and I'm actually wearing these today, is the little e.l.f. bite-size palettes. I have one in the shade Rosewater, and I have the other one in Cream and Sugar. And I used them both. I used different shades from both of them. But these are, for the price, these are the best little eyeshadow palettes. I am always astonished when I use them, and I can't believe how pigmented they are. Like, you can see, like, look at how beautiful they look. Like, they're just gorgeous. The shades are buttery and pigmented and blend in really well. I am shocked every time I use these, and they are great for just throwing in your bag. And there are so many different types with different shades, so I think that these are one of the best finds from the drugstore. So I couldn't decide which lashes were my favorite for this year. So each type of lash that I have, I'm going to show you ones that I think are great for different reasons. So the ones that I really enjoy using are the Kiss, the Lash Couture. These are the faux mink collection, and they're in Little Black Dress. That's the style. These ones I really enjoy using because I don't have to use mascara with these ones. The lashes just do such a great job of filling up my whole entire lid, and I don't have to use mascara. So that's just one less step that I have to do. I love how wispy they are and really accentuate my eyes. So this is one of my favorite styles from this year. And then the ones that I actually have on today, because I wanted just more of a natural look, is the Ardell. They're just natural, the 110s. And I enjoy these for a different reason, just because they look natural. And maybe I don't want to look like I'm wearing false lashes that day. And how these ones are styled is they kind of give me like an eye lifting effect, which I really like. So these are my honorable mention eyelashes. Now, I did try several mascaras throughout the year, and I chose two that I really enjoy, and the two that I have are quite similar in how they make my lashes look. So the first one is the Maybelline the Sky High mascara. This one I did a whole first impression on it. And the second one that gets an honorable mention is the L'Oreal the Telescopic. So these both really are identical in how they make my lashes appear really full. They don't clump, they lengthen. I will say the only thing to really watch when you're using them is I try not to apply too many multiple coats. I'll usually do like one pass through and then I'll do a quick another coat right after. I find with these ones, I can't let them really dry between coats. There's other mascaras that I've used that it's actually better when I let it dry a little bit and then put another coat. Whereas these ones I find I just have to go one coat and then another coat right after it. So that's the only thing I would say to watch for. But the wand is very unique. It's almost like a rubberized wand. So you can see here how it flexes. So very different, and I find it just does a great job, especially when I start at the root and wiggle it back and forth, and really volumizes my lashes, lengthens them. And same with this one here, very similar wand. It's a little bit thinner, but again has that flexiness to it as well. So almost identical, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty comparable in price as well. So if you can't find, I know that this was sold out everywhere when it first came out because it went viral on TikTok. If you can't find that one, then I would just suggest using the L'Oreal Telescopic, and pretty much does the same thing. So favorite eyeliner of 2021 has to be my L'Oreal Eyeliner. I have one in Noir Cashmere and also brown denim. So a really nice brown shade and a black shade. But this is my favorite pencil for doing my tight lining on my waterline. It's waterproof. When I'm putting it on my waterline, it doesn't skip, doesn't transfer, doesn't flake, and I really haven't found another pencil that I enjoy as much as this one for doing my waterline. I did use it today. It's kind of hard with my I have the false lashes on, but I did use it on my top waterline today. And these are the two shades right here. That is the Noir Cashmere, and that is the brown denim. Even though that's like a black shade, it's not like a harsh, like stark black. It's more of like a charcoal black. So I really like that. And apologies, the videos will be just a little bit delayed in coming out, just of everything that's been going on lately. So I will hopefully get them out beginning like the first couple of weeks of January, but they will definitely get out to you. And I hope you consider subscribing to my channel and becoming a little part of my world here on YouTube. And make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy drugstore products. And don't forget, you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I have all of those. Those are always down in the description box below. So I'm excited for you guys to see what part 2 is. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!